All right, Shalom. Salaki. Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of the nation of Israel, better known as the Great Millstone. Shalom and blessings to you, sincere fellow laborers who hazard your lives in truth and in sincerity in the brotherhood, the water. Shalom.
Shalom.
Um, so this lesson, um, hold fast and don't let go. And you see by the thumbnail, I don't know if you can see it, um, but it's compared to like a bull riding or a rodeo. Um, if you want to elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, me and another brother from the camp, Greg Nipstone Northwest, brother Thabo Al, we were talking, and I made a statement basically like, man, this truth is like a rodeo, man. You got to hold on, and that's pretty much the basis of the lesson. Is that through all the things that we go through, all the tribulations, all the the naysayers, scoffers, and all that. Those things are things to deter us from from being steadfast and holding on. So you have to continue to keep your grip on what you want, man, which is salvation, man. Ultimately we want to be saved and delivered from this place. So with those things coming up against us, that's that turbulence trying to derail us from the path. So you have to hold on.
God, do you want to start with Hebrews?
No, we start with this.
All right, right at the top.
Okay, this is Second Timothy 1:13. It says, "Hold fast the form of sound words, which thou hast heard of me in faith and love, which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. That good thing which was committed unto thee, keep by the Holy Spirit which dwelleth in us. This says, this thou knowest, that all they which are in Asia be turned away from me, in whom are what's that?
Of whom?
No, the Pi
Yeah.
Pagelis.
Not it's of whom are um Phygellus,
Phygellus in
Hermogenes,
Hermogenes. Kind of says the Lord give mercy unto the house of
Onis, Onesiphorus.
Onesiphorus, for he oft refreshed me and was not ashamed of my chain. But when he was in Rome, he sought me out very diligently and found me. The Lord grant unto me or to him that he may find mercy of the Lord in that day, and in how many things he ministered unto me at Ephesus, thou knowest very well.
God. So this is a good example. Holding fast is the topic and the point which Paul is conveying to Timothy. He's telling him to hold fast the form of sound words. They said, look, what you've heard of me, which is, of course, in faith and love, which is obedience, which is in Yahweh Shai Mashayat.
Mm-hmm.
If you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, feed my sheep. Right? Yahweh Shai was saying, if you love me, if you're saying that you love me, you're saying you um, are willing to obey. Said so. Hold fast the form of sound words. So Paul never had this scenario which we find today in America or in this modern era where he learned something from through the Spirit or from his teachers, and then he resorted away from it.
Mm.
And that's what we see a lot now with these scoffers, fallouts, guys that have made other camps and calling themselves and putting themselves in places of in positions of authority. That didn't exist at the time. Well, it existed at the time with the fallouts, and that's why they're not in the scriptures. But what's in the scriptures that we read about constantly are the words of the righteous men that never had those actions. So if you're someone new coming into this thing, you're supposed to be able to recognize that. You're supposed to have a critical, analytical thinking to say, hey, look, what I'm reading about, these men aren't flip-flopping back and forth and going to and fro. So if you can't see that, then this word and this body is not for you. You're not part of it. See, but Timothy was someone who Paul saw that the Spirit was on, who was going to actually carry the torch Okay, not some guy who's flip flopping. Because when you flip flop, you fall off the bull. You let go of the reins, you fall out. And what happens when you fall off that bull or that horse?
You lost.
Well, you lost, right? But danger comes. You could snap your neck. You could break a bone.
That bull can turn on you.
You could get gored, trampled. And that's why that funny little fat dude in the suit's got to come out and get his attention. You know, jump in the barrel and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, that good thing which was committed unto thee, keep by the Holy Spirit which dwelleth in us. See, now that should be simple, because the Spirit is not given to everyone, and it tells you that wisdom will not dwell with the wicked soul.
That's right.
And the Apocrypha, it tells you that the wisdom will not dwell with the malicious and wicked soul. So you know that these men are true, and you can see it by their standard. So we look at the elders and apostles, the standard that they've kept and maintained, they're still riding the bull, man.
That's right.
They haven't fallen away from sound words.
What does Scripture say? He who put his hands to the plow and looking back is not fit for the kingdom of heaven, man.
You got a lot of guys out there that are doing that, and it's this new generation, it's this new wave of newbies, this new wave of newbies who get into something for a couple of months or a couple of years, and they think that they're on some higher level, but they're always forgetting the basics of milk. It's just like going onto a job site, and you got like a foreman or a lead over you, and because they're in that position, what's the one thing they always forget? The basics. And you might have to say, hey, we can't do that. And they'll be like, it's okay, you're with me.
Yeah, that's that. They're quick to knock off safety and in the protocol to get something done because they want to make themselves look good, but they're putting you in harm's way to do it. They want you to get up on the scaffold that has no side rails when you're over 10 feet, which is against OSHA. They're like, I'll just get it done. You're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Man, you're okay. Then you get caught doing it, and then it falls on you. They'll be like, I didn't tell them to do it. You know, they'll back up off it then.
Right, and that's why the brother Raib over out in I think he's in Wisconsin. He's with those brothers out there in the Midwest. He even at his job, he said, look, if you condone it, you promote it, or if you promote it, you condone it, vice versa. So it's the same thing. If you're saying that this is okay and you're allowing that to happen, then you're guilty. That's why the scripture says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Just because someone who's an Israelite, who knows the name, who might even teach the word, grabs hold of another guy, Salakia, and is like, oh, you know, I teach this guy this and that. That doesn't mean that even though that dude's being wicked, that he's going to get away from his wickedness. Because the reality is you're both in the dirt. You've both been bucked from the bronco. You've both been bucked from the bull, and you're in the dirt, man.
That's right.
Whether you realize it or not. It probably don't, because you fell on your head. You're all woozy.
Unconscious,
right.
Got a concussion.
You're blacked out and unconscious, you know? Verse 15.
It says, this thou knowest, that all they which are in Asia be turned away from me, of whom are, how you say, Phygellus, and Hermogenes.
So let's look up these names real quick. See if it gives us a little bit more history on these two people. Look at his name. A little fugitive. A little fugitive. Okay, a Christian who was with Paul and deserted him. See, so you get these guys that come in under the tutelage of Great Millstone, and then what do? They desert us. They're deserters, and a deserter in the military, death is the course of action for treason. Desertation is treason.
That's right.
Okay, let's see what. So that was a little fugitive. It says lucky born or born of Mercury. Lucky born or born of Mercury. A certain Christian mentioned, and so he most likely a deserter too. And what did they do? So this is the common thing now. See. Where you get guys that'll come learn under their teachers, and they'll turn away. See, they don't have books Where's their doctrine? Why is their book not in the scriptures?
Are the ones that was offended when Yahweh Shai told him to eat of his blood, drink of his blood, and eat of his the bread.
Right.
You know that they turn into fugitives.
That's the wicked. That's this wicked generation. He said, "The Lord give mercy unto the house of Onesiphorus." Let's see the meaning of his name. Let's see what it gives us. Onesiphorus, bringing profit. So names actually had a a good meaning to them. You know, bringing profit, and did he not? As it goes on to say, it says, "For he oft refreshed me and was not ashamed of my chain. But when he was in Rome, he sought me out very diligently and found me. The Lord grant unto him that he may find mercy of the Lord in that day, and in how many things he ministered unto me at Ephesus, thou knowest very well."
And that word minister means servant. You know, to be a servant unto.
Let's see. Diakonoi, konio, minister unto, serve, minister, to be an attendant, domestic, to serve, wait upon. To act as a Christian deacon.
As a host, friend.
Or even figuratively, even a teacher, technically, to act as a Christian or a deacon. And in some martial arts, also, at the end of a teaching, when they battle each other, they may even switch places to where all the students are on the teacher's side of the room and the teacher's on the side of the students, and that's to show that even the teacher is a student and can learn from his pupils. So even the teacher is showing a pattern of balance and fluidity and a full circle.
That's right.
So that's another thing. That's another thing in itself. Okay, but our focus here is holding fast. So you had these two guys, Phygellus and Hermogenes, who were not steadfast in the faith. And what are the attribute they're known for? That all they which are in Asia be turned away from me, of whom are Phygellus. It sounds like he's jealous. Phygellus and Hermogenes. So these two guys. So when you see guys that are trying to turn people away from the elders and apostles, think of these two fallouts. Okay.
And they say we're not supposed to name names.
Right.
You're supposed to mark those men that cause division, man.
And those guys know who they are, and we've named them time and time again. The list is extensive at this point, and there's no reason for us to give them that shine, but they know exactly who they are.
Exactly, they do.
They know exactly who they are, and they feel like they have some sort of power because we don't say, "Oh, Adonis," we don't say Mr. Lanier, Marco, because we don't say their government name or even the names that we gave them or helped name them. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these guys ain't right. The egghead. I guess I saw something on the comment board about Nasty Nas believing the doctrine of the Good Samaritans, that there's no nukes that are gonna destroy America. So hey, all these guys, man, you see their whole thing is to turn people away from the truth.
That's right.
With enticing words. Okay. So moving on.
This is we start 9.
Start at 8.
8. Okay, so 1 Timothy 3:8. It says, likewise must the deacons be grave.
Meaning serious. Not doing stupid ass videos, not doing stupid really anything, getting caught in a dumb manner. But you're supposed to be known to be in a serious manner. So that's one thing, why you should stay away from social media, especially if you can't contain yourself. You don't know how to behave. And that's the thing. A lot of guys that come into the truth, because of the curses that come from broken homes, and you try to show them manners or have them be conscious of other people's, basically of other people's feelings, so that they could be checking themselves, and it never registers because from a youth it wasn't in them. So it's like trying to teach an old dog a new trick. It's very difficult.
Especially if you're not willing to reject everything you've learned and come as a babe when you come into this thing.
They want to hold on to something in the background, and they just can't wait to bring that forward because, oh, this kind of goes with what you were saying. No, man, drop that.
Drop all that.
Drop that shit.
That's how you say, leave that nigga at the door, man.
Right. Yeah, you got to leave it at the door. Go ahead.
It says, likewise must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not given to much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience.
Holding the mystery of faith in a pure conscience. See, because this thing is a mystery to people. You got people that believe that people of pigment come from people of no pigment. You got a lot of crackers out there that think they can produce a person of pigment. That's never been the case. Never in the case of history have two Caucasians been able to produce a person of brown skin. It's only a person that has something can produce something that doesn't have something.
That's right.
And there's tons of cases in the medical world, in the new babies being born between two pitch dark African parents in Europe and Africa, even over here, and they'll have a child without pigment. And what do they call him? An albino. And that albino word goes back to the Greek, which means leper. Leprosy. Lepre. So when you read about lepers in the Bible, it's talking about people without pigment. But people don't understand that. And that's a mystery of faith, because the color of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus, Yahweh Shai is his real name. They say that, he was a so-called white man. Why? Because someone painted him that way? Someone painted him? Every description says otherwise. Right? So holding the mystery of faith in a pure conscience. The chariots. Okay? That's another thing that's tied into your faith. The missiles, the RFID chip. America is Babylon. Okay?
These Esau is the devil.
Yeah, Esau is the devil. The so-called white man is the devil. If not, where and who is he? Okay, so holding the mystery of faith in a pure conscience, and faith in itself, it is a mystery to people. How can you believe this? How can you believe that?
Yeah, something that you can't see or touch. How can you believe in it?
Right, but they'll believe in the Big Bang.
They'll believe in Santa Claus.
In the flat earth.
Easter Bunny and shit like that.
Yeah, they believe in all these new things that are coming out, and they believe in that. They believe in America being, able to come back. You can't see that, and even on paper, it doesn't look at all possible. It's way past possible.
Way past.
It's like triple negative. Okay.
Reno.
No, that's the point. That's the point. We'll get Timothy's now.
This what's
already we went to Timothy's. Hebrews.
Okay, this is Hebrews 10:23. It said, "Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching."
Right. So as we see the day coming closer and closer, what are we supposed to be doing?
Getting that grip tighter, man. Yep, holding on even firmer.
The profession of our faith. See, and a lot of these guys all these guys we're talking about, everyone that fits this mold, they've lost. Really, they're not proficient in faith. They're proficient in finding excuses for their own rotten will. Okay, they're proficient in finding an excuse for wickedness. So when it says, my son in the scriptures are giving advice, when they read that, it doesn't apply to them because they're not sons. Because any chastisement or rebuke that comes at them, they throw that shit right behind them like the devil.
That's right.
They cast the word behind them. They wipe their mouth. Yeah, they wipe their mouth. Say, "I've done no evil." So considering one another to provoke unto love and to good works. So you might have to suspend a brother. You might have to shut a brother down. And he'll feel like, you quenching me. No, bro, you are out of pocket. You're feeling yourself way too much to have an emotional reaction towards something. You're feeling yourself way too much for no reason. So we want to provoke one another to good works. Okay, so it's a balance in the brotherhood.
That's right.
See, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. So you might get checked. That doesn't mean you got to run away. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
You get checked. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna go see my girl.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do my own thing. I'm gonna go see my woman. All right, man. That's cool, because that's the manner of some. That's not us, though. But exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. So you're supposed to be getting away from those old mannerisms and habits.
That childishness, man.
And childishness, exactly.
Mm-hmm. As the scriptures tell you, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish ways. And when you come into this truth, man, the Most High is looking for men, not children, man. The elder Yashawamba did a video that Satan is petty and childish. Mm-hmm. And when you allow that demon to get on you, that's you being petty and childish.
Yep. Yep. So looking up the etymology for hold fast, two different words. So hold as in a verb here, Old Norse halde, Dutch holden, German holten, meaning to hold. Gothic halden is to tend, but survives in some legal jargon and in beholden. The modern use in the sense lock up, keep in custody. Let's see.
Does it not tell you to wrap yourself in wisdom's fetters?
Yep, fetters of iron around your feet.
Put the chains about your neck.
And didn't Paul mention that? Where's it at? So it's third. No, it wasn't 19. He says, "Not ashamed of my chain."
Oh, come.
And Paul frequently mentioned how he was an ambassador in bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a chain, something that you're holding fast to, that is this literally has you wrapped up. Okay, with all restrictions. Let's see, no holds bar. That's a saying. Act of holding, grasp or grip, keeping custody, guard, watch, protector, guardian. So holding something, you should have a good sense of the word. Now fast, as in the adjective, firmly fixed, steadfast, constant, secure, enclosed, watertight. When something like a submarine, you think of a submarine door, that's watertight. That's held fast into place. It's not moving.
The airplane's airtight.
And even then, the airplane's a different beast, because you see those small holes. That's for the pressure in the window. So it's it is pressurized, but it's made to contain the pressure and the oxygen, to a certain degree. So being in this thing, okay, you have to really hold on to your faith, because what we're seeing, what we've been seeing, and what's being affirmed to us is that guys who we knew and know don't have it is only being proven more and more that they have no faith, that they've turned away from their first love, that they were never fully persuaded in their own minds. Okay. Anyway, that's all I got. Unless you got more.
Nah, that's it, man. Brothers got to hold on, man, and don't waver, man. Don't allow Satan to, come between you and the love of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man.
God, that's it. So until next time, Shalom.
Shalom.